driven out there and the mountain view was really beautiful. The car cost about €500 to fix, unfortunately, but the brakes do feel pretty good now. It's definitely definitely better than it was. In fact, its braking is a lot better than what it was before when it was working, even though, you know, the pads were quite thin. So I guess whatever they've done, they replaced all the fluid, done the actual, you know, rear discs. The fronts were pretty good. They had full discs and pads on there, I think, so they were pretty good condition. But now it's the same on the back. It'll probably be a bit, you know, they need to bed in probably a bit, I expect. But yeah, it's definitely braking okay for the moment. I mean, fingers crossed. I'm still nervous that something on the front to do with the wheel bearings caused it to lose pressure, but I did also read that when you go up into the mountains, I think ChatGPT said you go up into mountains, you can often find that, you know, your brakes, you know, because the change in the altitude and the, you know, it affects the pressure in the system. So hopefully everything's all good and we're on our way. The car, you know, I don't know if it's driving any worse than it was before. Obviously we've still got a little bit of slippage and a little bit of judderiness when we're kind of changing, I think, gears at low, you know, at low speeds. I think that's I think that will be the transfer case, like BMW probably picked up on, which is probably why they misdiagnosed this. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like when you put your foot down that that it's behaving the same way as it did yesterday, which is really weird. I don't really know why, but it just feels like it's a bit less performant, but maybe that's just in my head. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they haven't knocked anything, or, you know, he was doing some diagnostic stuff, so I just hope they haven't like done anything that would mess up something like maybe that the DPF guys had done when they did the coding for the car. I don't think so, probably, but I would imagine you have to recode the car to mess with that stuff. You probably just can't clear errors. I mean, there's certainly no emissions errors or anything weird on the dashboard yet, but we'll keep it peeled and see what happens. And we are motoring along at about 70 odd miles an hour, so we're doing okay. 115 kilometers. The limit seems to be 130 here, so that's not too bad. So maybe we can make up some time. Weirdly, we got a call from the place that we were meant to be staying last night in Cluj, asking if we were on our, you know, if we're coming. And I said, oh, I sent you a message, our car broke down, and, you know, again, so we weren't going to be able to make it. And you know, he said, oh, let me know when you get your car back. So I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. But I've sent a message, so let's see. I don't know. I don't even know if we're heading to where are we heading? We don't know, do we? We don't really know if we're heading to that place or tonight. I mean, we are booked to have that, so maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. I mean, Cluj is probably about the furthest we would want to drive now, so yeah, it might be a bit of a pain though if this guy doesn't get back to us, because we might find that we're, you know, without accommodation tonight, you know. But let's see, because it could, you know, once it gets late, some places don't have receptions open. I mean, where we were last night, the reception closed at 8 o'clock, so if you booked it, you know, after 8 o'clock, you probably wouldn't be able to get in there. Or maybe they can come and let you in, I don't know. But anyway, let's see how we get on. Let's see if the car, you know, behaves okay on the way. It'd be good to sort of get out of this mountainous area, see if that makes a difference to anything. But anyway, yeah, it is quite nice and picturesque. But I think we are moving down from the mountains now anyway. But yeah, let's get on and see what transpires throughout the day. Oh, I was going to say, it's now round about 2 o'clock, isn't it? What time is it now, Rach? 2:05?
Yeah, 2:05.
Yeah, they've changed the clock on the thing. I guess they turned the battery off probably, didn't they? When they were doing the brakes. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's 2:05. We will be in Cluj at 9, 9 o'clock, 10 past 9, that sort of time. So I don't know, that's if we don't stop or don't have any issues. So anyway, we're on our way, and let's just hope that the car is going to get there, because it does feel a bit weird to me, but let's see how we get on. Making our way through Hungary. Not too bad. There's been a bit of like roadworks about, but it's a pretty sort of quiet day really. And yeah, I mean the car, sounds as it always has, I think, and it's not like, well, it might be bad, I don't know, but the brakes are working. The wheel bearings aren't making a noise. Those problems are definitely not an issue. But it still does feel like a bit, ropey performance-wise. But it's going along fine. It's getting up to high speeds. It's cruising on cruise control, no problem. Yeah. Anyway, we are 321 kilometers away from Cluj. We did get a message back from the people that we're going to stay with, well, as in the place that we're staying at, that they just said okay. I said, oh yeah, the car's fixed, we're on our way now to Cluj, we should arrive at this time. We said 10:30, probably arrive about 9 something, but we're just giving ourselves time for stoppages. And yeah, basically, we basically we've updated them, and they replied back and said okay. So I'm guessing the only thing is maybe they're imagining we just want to use the last night of our booking, but ideally we'd want to stay at 2 nights, but I don't know if he's going to allow that, or we'll have to see. I couldn't rebook it for the Thursday night, so I'm guessing it's not available for that date, but let's see what happens. I'll try and change it. I tried to change it, but I couldn't this time. I mean, if we lose the booking, we lose the booking. Well, if we have to travel on, or we have to find somewhere else to stay that evening, I mean, it is what it is. Not much we can do really. But yeah, we'll just have to ask if it's head on and we'll have to see what the situation with that is. If we can just use the last night of our booking, at least that might, you know, get us back on track a bit. But anyway, we're cracking on. Should be a Schengen crossing now, so there should be no border checks. Should just be a case of going through slowly, really. Yeah, we should just be able to cross the border. I mean, it seems quite slow, and they might be randomly stopping people, I don't know. But yeah, they are. There's still a border here, but I think it's somebody's like looking as if they're going to stop, but I don't think there is anything to stop for. No, there we go. So that's pretty good. There's still somebody sort of like stood there looking at cars going through, but apart from that, it's just an open border. So we're now in Romania, and we've just basically crossed the border without having to do any kind of passport control. So yeah, it's much better. So that means we haven't shown our passport now to a border since Holland. So when we got off the ferry in Amsterdam, that was the last time that we showed our passport. That's pretty amazing, really. Unfortunately, there wasn't a place to stop. Well, there probably was, but it was about 10 or 15 kilometers back, and I wanted to stop and like have the clean the camera, because you get a lot of flies and stuff. My windscreen's full of flies, so I'm guessing that there is an issue with you know, with the camera up there probably. But yeah, we've also got a vignette all sorted, so we should have a Romanian vignette, so we don't really need to get one of those. And yeah, I think we will probably stop in the next place and just clean the camera off anyway. It's a shame, because we would have liked to have gone through the border with the camera completely clean, but who knows, maybe by some luck it is, but I really don't think so. Anyway, right, we're going to head on now, but we're in Romania, so we've made it that far. We basically got to head for Cluj. Rach, where am I supposed to be going? Just my CarPlay just went off suddenly then. It doesn't, yeah, it's come back on now, luckily. Yeah, maybe it gets too hot or something, I don't know. Or maybe it's when the networks change, I don't know. I think somehow the network changes and causes it to go off. Anyway, we're going to, I think we're turning off here. We're on the A3, I think, at the moment, which would go towards the... Why can't we go straight on, Rach? Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's telling us to turn off, saying that Cluj you can't carry on to Cluj straight ahead, so that's weird, but we are being turned off. I guess it's a bit like when we used to come through Romania, that was quite popular, like basically part of the motorway didn't exist, and so you just kind of be taken off onto a smaller road. We may be taken back onto it further up, I'm not sure, but anyway, we're going the way that the sat-nav is telling us to go. But yeah, we're heading on, and yeah, we're in Romania, so yeah, fingers crossed we make it to Cluj and we can stay at the place that we originally booked. And for 2 nights hopefully, but I get the feeling that won't happen. Anyway, we're heading on. Made it to Cluj. The car got us here. Still sounds a bit ropey to me, but it is driving and the brakes were really good, and there's no wheel bearing noise, so that stuff is definitely fixed. Yeah, we got to the place. It was not too bad to get in. Basically the guy said to call him when we arrived. He then kind of like explained to me how to get into the door. I went up and got a key to the room, which was already in the door for the room, and then that key let me into the door, so I didn't need the code anymore. Anyway, the only downside was, yeah, we can only stay one night, so we're basically using the last night of our booking because we're a day late, and we had already pushed it forward by a day anyway, but he didn't have any availability unfortunately for tomorrow night, so it looks like we're not going to be able to see Cluj and we're going to have to head on. But yeah, not too bad. The room looks okay. It's like it's like a big old house that's been converted into lots of like apartment rooms with like ensuite bathrooms. You got a bathroom in here, everybody's getting ready. Is it safe to come in? The toilet seat's gone. Yeah, everybody's out. It's a shower room. It's yeah, you got a nice sink, you got a toilet, everything you need in there. Nothing too fancy, but the shower looks quite nice actually. And you got some wardrobes and yeah, a TV up on the wall. We stuck a Fire Stick on it. The Wi-Fi seems to be okay. It wasn't great at first, but it seems to be playing now, no problem. We're just playing stuff from our own sort of like remote source. Yeah. But yeah, basically we're just going to get like a sleep. And we arrived about 9 o'clock. Of course, the clocks go forward by an hour because in Slovakia we were like Central European time. This is Eastern European time. So we got here at 9. And basically, yeah, but it would have been 8 back in Slovakia. So it was about a 6.5 hour drive, not too bad. The roads are kind of pretty good most of the way. Through Romania, though, you do go on a kind of smallish road where it's hard to overtake the trucks. But it's picturesque. But yeah, just basically gonna get some rest for the night, and then we'll head on to Bulgaria tomorrow. And that will hopefully be the end of our trip. We don't want to obviously have any incidents tomorrow. But we did think about trying to find somewhere else in Cluj, but it seems quite a crazy place. It's a busy place, and not a lot of places had any parking. It's a very big place. I think it's like second only to Bucharest. So yeah, it didn't seem to have much in the way of parking, and this was a real diamond in the rough, if you like. So we're probably not going to find somewhere as good as this in Cluj, really. We're certainly not with the availability, and it is like kind of coming up to the weekend. But yeah, we've already been delayed like 2 days now, so yeah, we kind of need to head on. And I think Rachel wants to dry Chloe and Emily's hair, so I must get on as well. But we'll see you again in the morning, and hopefully that will see us heading on and getting on through the rest of Romania.